What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to Volume 11 of Donovan's Den. Move my mic there. There we go. It is Monday, December 18th, 2017. We are exactly 1 week out from Christmas Day, so a lot to be excited about these days. For everyone getting ready for the holidays, definitely be safe out there, guys. Because the holidays can be crazy out on the roads, air travel, etc., etc. So a lot to be excited here at the towers. So let's go ahead and get into today's show. The age-old conflict between heroes and villains has been going on since the beginning of time, and as far as most of us know, the good guys came out on top most of the time. These assumptions are the basis of many of the many pillars of truth that we've been taught since we were young, and one of those pillars are that heroes are worshipped and revered as the true alphas of society. They're rewarded with money, women, and a great life, while villains are vilified for their crimes and they get nothing but shame and punishment and are destined to live a life of misery. This is what we've been told. But men who have taken the red pill start to question the validity of these claims as soon as we start to figure out the truth about women and what really makes them tick. We look around and we see men who move heaven and earth to take care of women. These men are called heroes, right? But these dudes almost never get loyalty from females. Then we look around and we see dudes who are career criminals, drug dealers, thieves, etc. And we see that not only do they have younger, hotter, tighter women, the women that they have are loyal to these guys to a fault. They ride or die for their criminal boyfriends. Now, at some point, we start to put two and two together and think to ourselves, well, if girls reward the bad boys with their loyalty while men who look out for them and rescue them get shit on, then why should we even try anymore? Why should we try to be a hero to a woman? Why should we try to be good for women if it doesn't work out that way? Why would we treat women well when men who treat women well get shit on? This is the question that we ask. Men who are unplugged from the feminist matrix are now well aware that acting like a hero or trying to be a good guy leads to failure in just about every aspect of life. This is work, women, social situations. It is a sad reality, gentlemen, that being the good guy will eventually come back to bite you in the ass if you sacrifice your mental, your physical, your financial well-being for the greater good. The greater good, I'm using air quotes. And the greater good these days means basically spending all of your time and resources on women. That's what the greater good has turned out to mean. So the question becomes, how do we as men break the mold and conquer life when the world gives men these false promises of female love and loyalty for their heroism? Who do we take our cues from now that we know that most of our fathers, our mentors, and role models have led us astray? Well, the answer is villains, the bad guys. Villains and outlaws, they live much better lives than the good guys, the heroes of the world. The women want them, and the men want to be like them, okay? You guys have it figured out. And as I stated in part 1, adopting their characteristics and some of their habits will greatly benefit all men. Again, I'm not talking about going out and committing crimes, guys. I shouldn't have to use that disclaimer, but there are always a few idiots out there who want to dismiss the entire point based on what they want everyone to think I am endorsing. So let me be clear when I say that while you should emulate the bad guys, what I mean, quite literally, is adopting some of their personality traits, essentially doing everything criminals do except for committing crimes. Want to just go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, last week in part 1, I talked about the beginning stages of your outlaw transformation. At this point in your development, you're working on being completely unapologetic, increasing your overall net worth as well as your sexual market value, and of course, turning your dwelling into an environment that suits you and you alone, your lair, like I talked about in part 1. So let's go ahead and continue the process and talk about your priorities, your mindset, and also get into a few other supplemental habits that villains have these days. The first one I want to point out is make women your absolute bottom priority. One of life's greatest fallacies is the idea that a man needs a woman in his life to be truly happy. They tell us that if we make a woman our top priority, then we will win their undying devotion and respect. This is a complete and utter falsehood. Obviously, if you are watching or listening to this, you figure this out by now. Anyone who watches or reads me knows that that's just not true. As men, we don't need anything but our own bodies and minds, guys. Yes, women do have ways of elevating our lives, but let's face it, guys. They're more trouble than they're worth most of the time. Any man can achieve a level of satisfaction and contentment with nothing but a sound body and mind that goes far beyond committing to a female who has little to no agency and brings no value to his life. With a sound body and mind, a man can accumulate other valuable commodities like money, respect, solitudes, etc. Outlaws understand very clearly that these are some of the most important assets that they can acquire because it allows them to amass other resources to enhance their lives. Among the items on their list of priorities, women are at the very bottom, and for very good reason. First off, women come with a price tag. Okay? They are expensive on many, many levels within the context of a committed relationship, which can and will deplete your finances if you allow things to get out of hand. As far as respect goes, if your frame isn't airtight, then today's women will not hesitate to disrespect you in public, in front of your friends, or in front of your family. And the reason they do this so brazenly is because they know nothing will happen to them. If we retaliate physically, we're looking at least 72 hours in jail and a felony, and being charged with a felony. And we all know that in a court of law, men in these situations are guilty until proven innocent. Finally, women like to smother you in an attempt to lock you down and control your life. This means that the time that you need to yourself to think, to reflect, and to plan, all that walks right out the door, right behind your money and respect. Villains are well aware of the havoc that devoting themselves to a woman can wreak on their lives, so they wisely put them at the bottom of their respective totem poles. Incidentally enough, this mindset is exactly what keeps their women in line. Making your mission your priority will improve your life to the point where you won't have to commit to any one woman. The reason for this is that women will make themselves available to you every chance they get, simply because of the scarcity of your availability and lack of emotional contribution. The bottom line here, guys, is that the emotions of a woman are no match for a man who has other things going on in his life. Plus, all the pussy he's getting on the side as a result of having his priorities straight causes him to subconsciously adopt that abundance mentality, which makes him even more attractive. Like most things in life, guys, the more something is available to you, the fewer fucks you give about it, especially pussy. The supply of women is plentiful, and the inventory is growing by the second thanks to feminism. We all know this. Girls aren't going anywhere, guys, so there's no reason to focus an exorbitant amount of time or effort to obtain something that you can get with little to no investment. This isn't to say that you need to stop approaching and talking to girls, but spending a disproportionate amount of your time chasing ass is a waste of time and resources, guys. And listen, I speak from personal experience. I spent a shitload of money on drinks, meetups, dates, and this and that, all to get laid. And when I look back on all the money and time I spent, it wasn't even close to worth it. Villains don't put women at the top of their list of priorities, and neither should you. Let all the simps out there, all the guys who are in the friend zone, let those guys give them that constant validation that they need. You've got better shit to do. To hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Donovan's Den right now on Patreon for just $5 a month. Thanks for watching.